Fine to see you. I too, darling. Helene's voice sobered. How are things, Viv? Fine. Just fine. I mean, how are they really? Vivian Conover's laugh was soft and easy, proving that she was a good actress also. Truthfully, Helene, the cure took. Then, Helene didn't even want to use Andre's name. Then that problem you had? Melted clean away. Andre Dubois. A man I was once acquainted with. See how easy it is? Helene said, Vivian, I must see you right away. I have my appointment, but I'll break it and... No, darling, you won't. That isn't the thing to do. We'll have plenty of time afterwards. Nonsense. I've been as constant and punctual as a Girl Scout. I'm entitled to be unreliable just once. There was another change in Vivian Conover's voice. Subtly, it dropped in enthusiasm. It did not become impersonal, but it moved in that direction. Helene, I have something to tell you. Wedding bells. Vivian. It's confidential, of course. I mean, with the new job and all. You must forget I even told you about it. You must forget it. But still, darling, put a yellow ribbon in your hair and buy some confetti. Viv, I'm delighted. But the pure delight no longer reflected in Helene's voice. She seemed suddenly preoccupied. And don't break your appointment. Helene put the phone down without saying goodbye. She looked at her watch, finished dressing, and was ready to go. But before she left the apartment, she took a yellow ribbon from a drawer where she kept several and tied it in a neat little bow into her shining blonde hair. Chapter 2. John J. Malone awoke late that morning. He grunted and flung his right arm out across the bed and faced his first problem. The long-legged blonde was gone. Malone opened one eye, closed it again, and flung out his other arm. His groping hand came in contact with the trousers tossed carelessly across a chair the night before. He pawed until he found his wallet. He opened the single eye again and trained it on the money inside. About $20 missing. His grunt was one of sour satisfaction. He'd figured the girl to be honest, and he'd been right. She'd taken only what she'd felt she was entitled to. Resolving to look her up again some day, Malone yawned and went about the business of returning to life. When Malone entered Joe the Angel's City Hall bar an hour later, Joe the Angel knew, from years of close rapport, several things. First, Malone had had a rough night. But if Joe had merely guessed this, he would have had 3 chances in 4 of being right. Most of Malone's nights were rough. His days, too, for that matter. Secondly, Joe knew that Malone had been on gin the night before. This, too, was no great feat of perception. Joe had only to look at Malone's lapel. He knew a gin stain when he saw one. But only ESP in its purest form told Joe that Malone now wanted rye instead of gin. Certainly nothing visible indicated that Malone wanted hair from a different dog. Nonetheless, Joe sure-handedly poured a double rye and had it waiting when Malone pumped his short legs and climbed up on a bar stool. He scowled at the stuff, tossed it off, and said, "It's a lousy day." Joe replied with stubborn cheerfulness, "It ain't the day, it's you. All days are lousy after lousy nights." "Who made you a philosopher?" Malone pushed the glass forward for a refill. "It's just that I hate to see you wasting your youth." "Wasting my youth? I'm 40 years old, for God's sake." "We're as old as we feel." "Okay, I feel 8 years older than Dracula." "That's all right. You'll get younger as the day goes on. You know what's wrong with you. I could outline it in a couple of hours, but what's your version?" "You want to get married. You've been drifting too long, and when a boat drifts, it always goes into the weeds. You're going into the weeds because you ain't got a firm hand on the wheel." "Jesus. Maybe I better find another bar." "You won't, though," Joe the Angel sighed. "Your tab's too big. You'll never escape from it. But I still say an eminent Chicago attorney should." Joe paused, possibly overcome by finding and using such a classy word. But eminent might have been laying it on a little thick in Malone's case. There were other descriptive terms. Sawed-off shyster, sneaky mouthpiece, the hood's friend. Call Malone whatever you choose, and you'd find that someone in Chicago had said it first. Still, no one could deny that he was one of the keenest little criminal lawyers who ever gave a judge fits. Once, years earlier, while making his living as a cab driver, he'd become disgusted with his lack of progress in life and enrolled in a law course in night school. He earned his diploma, and passing the bar exam had been the turning point in his life. Joe the Angel ignored Malone's empty glass. "You ought to eat. I got pig's knuckles." "I'll take an order of boiled cop's head." Joe's reply was automatic. "Von Flanagan giving you a hard time?" It would have to be Von Flanagan and his 2 shadows, Kluchetsky and Scanlon. They were the only cops on Earth so far as Malone was concerned.